Hi, y'all, and welcome back to Down Home Misty Style, where everything is country good. Y'all, this recipe is another holiday recipe, either for Thanksgiving or Christmas. It is so good. And there are cultures that do enjoy having pork instead of turkey, ham, or prime rib. So this is a pork tenderloin recipe with the most fluffy mashed potatoes and a cranberry sauce. I'm telling y'all, it is amazingly. It is not enough words. So since it's left me utterly speechless, let me show you how we actually made it. Welcome back, y'all.
Misty's kitchen, the warmth fills the air. With laughter and love, it's a place we all share. Recipes passed down through the years, a sprinkle of joy mixed with our tears. Gather round, let the good times roll. Home cooking magic, it feeds the soul. From pies to stews, every bite's a delight. At Misty's Pleasures, everything feels right. The oven's aglow. The table.
All right, y'all. I made chicken legs for my little doggies, my little fur family, and they're my children. So I made their chicken, and this is the broth left over, but I also have other broth I've made left over. And I'm making those ultra fluffy mashed potatoes tonight to go with the holiday meal we're having for the season. So I'm just taking my chicken broth right here so it'll melt down for our potatoes. I might have to add a little bit of water, but I don't foresee having to add a lot. So this is why it's good to save your chicken broth. And yes, if you don't can it and you just put it in the refrigerator, it jellifies. But you have 3 to 5 days to use it before it would go bad. Coming from somebody who's done it for years. And I'm alive. All right, so we're going to let that melt down in there, and then we're going to drop our potatoes. This is nothing but pure, rich chicken broth. And now, I am going to have to add a jar of water, though, because it's not enough. And so I'm just going to go ahead and add a jar of water. And I'm going to shake it around so I can get some of the residue left of the rich chicken broth. Oh. So when you cook chicken legs, you stew them or whatever you're doing, save your chicken broth. If you know you're going to have a recipe you're going to be making that asks for chicken broth, potatoes, whatever it is, save it. Now, you do want to strain it, before you put it in your jar and put your lid on tight and then put it in the refrigerator. But remember, when you don't can it, it only lasts 3 to 5 days in the refrigerator. So have your menu planned ahead of time. Because me here, I try to utilize everything all the time. All right, we're just going to let that heat up. All right, y'all. Well, maybe because it was scared to be haunted itself. I am debating with my daughter over here about life after death. And you know what? It doesn't matter how old your kids are. They always think they know it all when they don't. It goes through every generation, if you guys haven't noticed. Every generation is the exact same way. Not the next generation learns nothing. It just keeps repeating itself over and over again. All right, so I am just going to cut the ends right here off the potato because it just makes it easier for me when I get to peeling them. If you see any bad spot, go ahead and cut that all the way away. And I'm definitely y'all know I don't discard. I don't discard my scraps. They all go to the soil. Back to the earth where they belong. Now, this is another one of those alternate holiday meals. I've got to create a little playlist. I know some of you might not know what that means, but it's just something you can follow to see all of the different ideas that I come up with for budgets, or if you just don't want to do a traditional Thanksgiving. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and peel these. Once you have washed your potatoes thoroughly and made sure that water runs clean, you want to dry them. And I just use a napkin and I dry them. Potatoes, russet potatoes, are extremely starchy. And when you're using russets to make fluffy mashed potatoes, if you don't follow these steps, that's how they can turn out gummy. Is exactly how they turn out gummy. All right, so we're going to dry them all. I make my ultra fluffy. I don't keep any peel at all. No peel. I make 3 different kinds of mashed potatoes. I make mashed taters, I make smashed taters, and I make ultra fluffy taters. These are ultra fluffy. This here is what I told you earlier. It's my own homemade chicken broth that is hot. So we're going to just drop our taters down in that now. There's nothing else in here but solid, just chicken broth. No salt, no pepper, no nothing. It's pure chicken broth from chicken legs. This will give these so much flavor. And we will cook these until they are fork tender. And while they're cooking, we'll move on to our other items we have. But yes, this is all from scratch. Every last bit of it. One thing I did forget to tell you all is you do want to be very generous with salt while these are cooking. So be really nice and generous with it. That's also important if you don't want them gummy. Now we're going to cover and just let them cook. All right, y'all. Spongy, pause it, please. Now we want to take some olive oil in our cast iron, drizzle it in, and we're going to heat this up. We are going to add some thyme leaves And if I still have my natural ones from my garden, I would use them. But we're going to add some thyme. And we're going to add some basil. We also want to add fresh garlic. And the rest of that will go into our potatoes. And we're just going to add a tiny smidgen of butter. Now we're going to just let this heat up, and then we're going to sear our pork tenderloin, but we want to get it warm first. All right, now we want to add our other seasonings, which our first is pumpkin pie spice. Just sprinkle it on the top. Next, we want some onion powder. Next, we want some of the McCormick salted caramel. When we flip this over, we'll do the same exact seasonings. Now, over here, we want 1 cup of eggnog. One cup of eggnog. But that's normally for just 1 pork tenderloin, so I'm going to add just a smidgen more. And then we want 3 tablespoons of maple syrup. That would be 1, 2, 3. We then want to add about a teaspoon of pumpkin pie spice. Now we're going to whisk this together. We've seared our pork tenderloin. We've got our sauce, our holiday sauce. Now we're going to pour that over that here shortly. It's going to go in a 375-degree oven for 24 minutes, uncovered. This is where you need cast iron or an oven-proof pan. Look, I need to go get him. Butter! No.
Oh, they're gone.
I need to come help me. Like, I should not be standing on my feet every single night cooking y'all dinner. Where's mine, Tyrone? You gotta wait for that oven temperature to hit 375.
Gonna get some another.
No. I need you to pick that up and pour it in there. All right, now I'm going to take this eggnog and I'm going to pour it all over this man who claims to care about me. No, I'm not. We're just going to pour it all over our pork tenderloin. Now, you're not going to cover it, but when that hits 375, it goes in for 24 minutes, and then somebody's going to have to come pull it back out, and then I got to make the sauce to go with it. And then I got to make the mashed potatoes, y'all. We'll be back. I forgot to tell you on this part, this is 1/2 cup of apple cider. Now, to that, we want to get this a little bit above 1 cup, probably to this line right here that you see in that cup. And this is our whole berry cranberry sauce. We're going to just mix that cranberry sauce in with the apple cider to where that is just below 1.5 cups. Right. Oh God, I didn't mean to do that. I don't want it to splash out like that. No, 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 no. All right, our potatoes are done cooking in our chicken broth. And our pork is almost done too. So I need to hurry. So we want to take our potatoes and just drop in our KitchenAid bowl. And be careful not to squeeze. Because they are very tender. I didn't know I had this many, honestly. I'm just checking some of them to make sure that they are really tender. All right, y'all, we want to go ahead and add in almost a 1/2 stick of butter to these potatoes and just nestle it in there and let it melt. And we'll be right back. All right, y'all, now we got to take our heavy cream, and we only do a little bit at a time. So we got our butter.
Take your heavy cream. We can make it gravy of that.
Yeah, you got to leave it alone. And then we're going to take the rest of our garlic, because we want our garlic in here.
You want it just sitting here?
Yeah, just leave it sitting there.
All right, I'll go back there. Come on,
All right, now I'm going to go ahead and put my KitchenAid down. I hope it's plugged in.
Slowly the foxy slash. So Moses, resurrection's done. I'm bringing my boyfriend back to life.
All right, y'all. This is what your fluffy mashed potatoes should always look like. Not gummy, not sticky, just straight up fluffy and good. Wash your potatoes. Wash them until that water is so clear you can see through it. And all right, now we're going to pour our cranberry and our maple syrup and our apple cider. And you want to have your heat at a high temperature right now so that that can cook down. Y'all, I thought I was recording this whole time and I wasn't. I'm going to have to do another plate. That's our fluffy mashed potatoes, our cranberry pork tenderloin, and our cranberry sauce right there. It is absolutely delicious. It's amazing. I hope y'all really enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to give me that thumbs up and share, y'all. Until next time, stay blessed and find your peace. Bye, y'all.